Evening everyone, so welcome to tonight's Ordinary Council meeting, the 15th of May 2024. Declaration of opening is made at 5:30 p.m. So welcome everyone here, and I'll get through that in a minute. So we've got members of the public in the gallery, officers and councillors. So item number 2 is opening procedures. 2.1 is acknowledgement of country. Now it's changed to the agenda, so I'm going to state this. So the Shire of Northern would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land on which we meet, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and we acknowledge that we are both on Balladong land here and Mudguk land to the west of the Shire. So item 2.2 is recording of council meetings. So members of the council and members of the gallery, which is members of the public, are advised that this meeting will be live streamed and audio recorded and made available on the Shire of Northern's YouTube channel. If members of the public want access to the recording of the meeting, they can do so. If they aren't watching it live, they can do so via the Shire of Northern website. And it is there because I have checked. So item number 3 is attendance. So council. So we have 7 councillors as sitting around the table. We'll get to apologies in a minute. And we have quite a change in the names of the staff that are here tonight. So I'm not going to read all the staff names out, but that's going to be updated appropriately, which may be on the screen already. So that's been recorded correctly already. So then we go to item 3.2 on page 7, apologies. So we have an existing apology from the Executive Manager Corporate Services, Mr Young. So that's an apology. We have an apology from Councillor Appleton, who is unwell, and we have an apology from the CEO, Debbie Terrelink, who is also unwell. So I should also hasten to add, we welcome Paul Devsich to the chair, the CEO chair tonight. So item 3.3 is approved leave of absence. And just before I go that, just for members of the public in the recording, I forgot to say this is an ordinary council meeting, so this is a decision-making night. So we had the forum last week where we had question and answers, and we've had question and answers throughout the week. Tonight we have to make a decision on every item that is before us. So we're going to deal with all those. So item 3.3 is approved leave of absence, that is nil. 3.4 absent, that is nil. We now go to page 8, item number 4, disclosure of interests. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to take a while. So we have the ones that aren't in the agenda that I've got in front of me. So I'm going to read through those first, and then I'll go through the ones that were pre-provided last week or during the week. So we have a declaration of interest for item 13.1.1 from Councillor Polton. This is leases for community halls. Councillor Polton, Stated Progress Association members and Elgin Councillor Polton. So item 13.1.2, Mundawi Tennis Court and Club Room lease. President Antonio has declared impartiality. Members of the Mundawi Progress Association, who I mentioned in the report, are known to President Antonio, with one executive being a fellow council member. Item 13.1.2, Mundawi Tennis Club and Club Room lease. Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. Members of Mundawi Progress Association are known to Councillor Polton. Same item 13.1.2, Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality. Councillor Bigland is current Secretary Treasurer of the Mundawi Progress Association, and that's a non-paying position, just so everyone knows. So 13.4.6, differential rate, Chamber of Commerce, President Antonio, that's me, has declared impartiality. Members of the Northern Chamber of Commerce, mentioned in the report and under to President Antonio, have discussed the differential rate with members in the past, but not for this particular item. 13.4.6, same item then. Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. Members of the Chamber of Commerce are known to Councillor Polton. Same item, Councillor Ryan has declared impartiality. Councillor Ryan is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. 13.5.1, Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. This is Community Progress Association annual budget request Progress Association members are known to Councillor Bolton. 13.5.1, Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. This was read out. This is just an add-on to previous declaration. Same item, Community Progress Association annual budget request. Councillor Williams, as a previous member of Spencerville Progress Association, Councillor Williams has had several conversations about Station Masters House and potential lease with other members. There's two items here. So 13.5.1, Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality as members of the Spencerville Progress Association are known to Councillor Bigland. There are two here for the item behind closed doors, so I'll deal with those as that item comes up. And also, now we've got the list here. So I'm not going to read out the ones for Councillor Appleton, because Councillor Appleton is not here. So item 13.4.6, Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Members of the Northern Chamber of Commerce and proprietors of Wheatbelt business impacted by differential rating arrangements are known to Councillor Gierak. Councillor Mancelli, so I won't read the item again. So it has declared impartiality. Members of the Chamber are known to Councillor Mancelli. Councillor Ryan, impartiality. Councillor Ryan is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Councillor Williams, impartiality, which we just saw the amendment. Councillor Williams is the council delegate to the Northern Chamber of Commerce, and this matter has been discussed. 13.1.1, this is leases with condition calls. President Antonio has declared impartiality. President Antonio is a member of various progress associations who are mentioned in the report for lease renewal. Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality. Councillor Bigland is current Secretary Treasurer of the Wundarra Progress Association, and it is a non-paying position. Members of the Bakers Hill Progress Association are known to Councillor Bigland. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Member of the Progress Associations mentioned in this item known to Councillor Gierak. Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. Some members of the Progress Association are known to Councillor Hughes. Councillor Mancelli has declared impartiality. The effect is minimal. A number of people in the community hall communities are known to Councillor Mancelli. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Councillor Williams is an executive member of the Bakers Hill Progress and Recreation Association and a member of the Clackline Progress Association, who are both subjects of this agenda item. Member of other progress associations are known to Councillor Williams. Now on to item 13.1.2, Wundarra Tennis Court and Club Room Lease. So this is item 13.1.2. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Members of the Wundarra Progress Association are known to Councillor Gierak. Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. Some members of the Wundarra Progress Association are known to Councillor Hughes. Councillor Mancelli has declared impartiality. Members of the Progress Association are known to Councillor Mancelli. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Members of the Wundarra Progress Association are known to Councillor Williams. Wundarra Progress Association is subject of this agenda item. So now we're on to item 13.1.3, Shire of Northern Bushfire Brigade Local Law 2024. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Councillor Gierak is a council representative on the Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting, and some members of the Shire of Northern Bushfire Brigades are known to Councillor Gierak. We're now moving to item 13.4.3, adoption of 2024-25 schedule of fees and charges. President Antonio has declared impartiality. President Antonio is a member of various progress associations who are mentioned in the report for hall of hire fees proposed to be regulated. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Councillor Williams is a member of Bakers Hill and Clackline Progress Associations who will be affected by Newcombe Community Hall hire fees proposed to be introduced. Members of other progress associations are known to Councillor Williams. Item 13.5.1, Community Progress Association Annual Budget Requests. President Antonio has declared impartiality. President Antonio is a member of various progress associations who are mentioned in the report for annual budget requests. Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality. Councillor Bigland is current Secretary Treasurer of the Wundarra Progress Association and it is on non-paying position. Bakers Hill and Spencerville Progress Association members, some members are known to Councillor Bigland. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Members of progress associations applying for funding are known to Councillor Gierak. Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. Some members of the progress associations are known to Councillor Hughes. Councillor Mancelli has declared impartiality. Members of the Chamber and Northern Women in Business are known to Councillor Mancelli. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Councillor Williams is a member of Bakers Hill Progress Association who will apply for funding from this budget. Members of other progress associations are known to Councillor Williams. So that's all the ones I've got in front between the two. So councillors are well aware, I doubt there'll be any more, councillors are well aware if any item comes up and they declare an interest, then they will do so. I wasn't expecting that response straight away. Thank you. So just item 13.4.6, Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. This is differential rates Chamber of Commerce. Some members of the Northern Chamber of Commerce are known to Councillor Hughes. So again, so as the item comes up, the councillors are well able to declare a declaration of interest at that time. So we're now on page 12, which is item number 5, announcements by the presiding member without discussion. So I'll take that as read. So then I go to page 14, which is item number 6, public questions. And I promised the members of the gallery that I'd still defer to them to see if there was any public questions. There's none at this stage, so we're still on page 14. Is item number 7, response to previous public questions taken on notice. That is nil. Item number 8 is receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. 8.1 petitions, that is nil. 8.2, we have presentations. So I'm quite proud to do this on behalf of the Shire. So we have received Water Corporation Waterwise Council Award. So the Shire President, that's me, presented to Council, I'm presenting to Council, a Gold Waterwise Council Award for the Shire of Northern for demonstrating innovation and leadership in creating waterwise communities, awarded to the Shire of Northern by Water Corporation. So very lucky enough to go to the event last week. So we've got this, which is the one we're expecting. So we're going to gladly give that to the acting CEO for the night, Mr. Devsich, on behalf of the Shire. So that's the first one. And the second one, which we weren't expecting at the time, Water Corporation Waterwise Aquatic Centre Award. So I'm presenting to Council a Gold Waterwise Aquatic Centre Award for the Wundowie Swimming Pool for demonstrating best practice water management in an aquatic centre. It was also awarded to the Shire by the Water Corporation. But in seriousness, well done to all the staff who've actually done all the work for this. We're just the lucky ones to do it. So I'll pass on my congratulations to the team, which I think is Jackie's team, and all your staff for all the work they've done in this area. So might even just put our hands together for Jackie and the team. So quite happy to accept that on the Shire's behalf. So we're now on page 15. So we've got item 8.3 is deputations, which I still can defer to the members of the public, because this is when you can provide and make a statement. So I'm still going to look just in case, which I've got lots of no's there, so that's all right. And for the cameras, it sounds like we've got a massive gallery. We've got 4 members of the public here. So we're still on page 15. So item number 9 is applications for leave of absence. That is nil. Item number 10 is confirmation of minutes. So first we've got 10.1, confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting held 17th of April 2024. Councillor Mancelli is moving. Councillor Hughes is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 7-0, that's carried. 8-0. I just had to do a quick count. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. That's 8-0, that's carried. Sorry to make it. So that's 10.1. We now go to page 16. So item 10.2 is notes from the council forum meeting held the 8th of May. I will check if there's any queries on that first, because it's a new item. Councillor Hughes has a query.
Yeah, there was one in the appendix. Councillor Colton wasn't here and he couldn't be present.
So you just correct that, because we can even check on the canvas. No, Councillor Colton wasn't here. Was there any other questions or queries on those notes? So, Councillor Hughes, would you like to move with that amendment? Councillor Hughes is going to move. Councillor Ryan is going to second. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to item 10.3, notes from the Strategic Council meeting held 27th of March 2024. There's a recommendation as written there. Councillor Mancelli is moving. Councillor Ryan is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. Now we go to item number 11, which is items brought forward for the convenience of those in the public gallery. So we're going to go firstly to page 279. So item 13.5.1, I will do. Just want to have a reminder. Councillor Poulton, Councillor Williams with amended or the variations to the original declaration. Councillor Bigland, President Antonio, Councillor Bigland, again, Councillor Gierak, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Mencelli, Councillor Williams, all declared impartiality in this item. So we're starting on page 280, and there's recommendations on page 291 and 292. So we'll just go to those pages. So we have the first one is the council supports the following funding requests from various Shire of Northern Progress Association. So they're going on page 291 and 292. So we've got those here. We did have question and answers on this last week.
I'll move the motion as presented.
Councillor Mencelli is moving. Councillor Ryan seconded. Is there anyone likely to speak against that recommendation? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. Then we move. There is another recommendation on page 292. This is the council not support the following funding requests from the various Shire of Northern Progress and Community Associations. See many of them move this. Councillor Ryan. Councillor Williams is going to second. Is there anyone likely to speak against this? Councillor, question or speak
A
against?
little bit of speak against, thank you.
Oh, we'll just wait for the going to speak against. Against. Okay, Councillor Ryan.
Councillor, so in regards to this motion, we've read the reports and while it's always nice to be able to give every Progress Association everything they would want, bucket of money is a bucket of money and it's got a not infinite resource, it's a finite resource and we've got a budget to stick to. The officers have made recommendations within their research that they've developed. Then the council, we had questions on it last week, and it's my view, and I encourage you all to support the motion as it's currently presented. I think it's balanced in terms of the bucket of money that we've got to spend with all the progress associations. It's measured in terms of what each of those progress associations have requested. I suppose there is some difficulty with some people that say with regards to Spencer Brook and what they're proposing there, but I think that is appropriately dealt with potentially in some future motion or some future application by that particular progress association that can be dealt with separately. And it may be the appropriate means that it comes up as a budget consideration for something else. But I think in terms of this motion and what's been presented, I will encourage each of you councillors to support the motion as it's currently read.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Hughes.
Last week I was quite happy with it, but during the week I left on the Spencer Brook Association, and as they pointed out, they don't have anywhere down there to meet. The old station master's house is the only place that they do have. Where every other locality has a hall or a rec centre or whatever, and they got nothing. So I just think if they can't get made from this, I agree with what you just said, it should be put up as a budget item. So maybe I should just withdraw what I'm going to say and push for it to be a budget item.
Okay, thanks, councillor. Councillor Williams?
I concur with what Councillor Ryan has said. Progress Association in Spencer's Brook were made aware at the time that they took the lease on that the funding from the Shire was not likely to occur. I know they have received some funds and I think that's fantastic. I absolutely think they need something. They are a community, they are a very active community, very proactive community, and I believe that they should have somewhere to call their own. I just don't believe that the Shire putting funds into something that the Shire has said they weren't going to put funds into and made that clear from the start, and chose not to take on this building because of the amount of work that was needed and the fact that it would be another burden on ratepayers. I think that the officers have made the correct decision there to recommend it this way, but I do hope that the staff can work with the Spencer Brook Association to try and come up with some alternative, whether it be other means of funding to help advocate for funding from elsewhere. I think the rest of the items have also been dealt fairly with the staff.
Further speakers against? Councillor Bureau?
Thank you, Mr. President. I do agree with all the statements before and also with the offset recommendation, but again, I have issue with Spencer's Brook not receiving any support towards the station master's house. So it will be that, I believe, appropriately in the future. So hopefully we have some resolution, but I just cannot do the motion. Thank you.
Councillor? Further speakers for? Further speakers against? So, Councillor Ryan, you want to speak for or against, Councillor?
No, Mr. President, I just want to endorse the comments made by Councillor Hughes and Councillor Durack. The Spencer's Brook Progress Association have battled pretty hard to get this facility. It was facing demolition, and we the council relented on that, and they've taken it on in their own right, and they were given some seed money last year, and they've done a bit of work on the place, and there is some fairly pressing stuff that needs to be done, particularly in guiding the water away from the footings and the surroundings of the house. And the only way they're going to do that is to put some guttering up and possibly a rainwater tank or two, and that will ameliorate the problem with moisture in the subfloor. So yeah, look, I understand the matter is coming back, so it's probably a good thing. So I'll just leave it at that for the moment.
So I'll take that as speaking against the motion, so I'll ask.
Yeah, it was.
Question, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's about the matter coming back. Have we been notified that the matter is coming back?
Apart from what's on the board right now,
So is this a board-carried motion, or is this was not been part of the agenda, so I haven't seen anything.
No, I said.
Sorry, Matt. It's an additional motion that went through the proposed changes to the recommendations. So you should have received an email advising that there was this change that has been put forward, and the access would have been through your council portal as well.
And TBC, as far as
The TBC should have been on the second.
Second, that's right.
I didn't see it. Sorry, so I didn't realise there was another motion.
actually, with that, council, we make sure that all councillors are aware, because I did check it out, but what did come through, we got an email saying it's not on the council portal. Yeah, so we'll make sure that process works. So we'll the Shire will apologise that you didn't receive it. So I will ask for further speakers for. Further speakers against. Councillor Ryan, you've got right of reply.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Mr. President. I suppose the main thing I'll address will be, so we all want each of our sites that we have, town sites within the Shire, to have a meeting place for our ratepayers and members of our community to actually meet and celebrate all sorts of things. I guess the difficulty that we currently face with our decision making tonight is that with the old Station Master's house, that was a building that was first of all offered to the Shire, and in terms of our inventory and the amount of money with our strategic plan and our reserves, the decision was made by council that at that particular point in time, we weren't in a position to actually take on the burden of actually bringing that building up to code or to spec. That was related to the community, and as a result of that, the community decided to all pitch in, speak with the state government, where they were receiving the building from, to then start the process themselves, which they have to be all commended for taking that initiative. I guess the difficulty that I feel it presents with the Shire is that we still haven't necessarily put it in our long-term budget in terms of assisting Spencer's Brook with that building. If we were to take on that building, that would come to add a significant cost to the ratepayers of the whole Shire. And I think there needs to be more done, considering that it was a state government asset that has been, they didn't want it because they knew that it was going to be costing so much money to then bring up to spec. So they had an opportunity to offload it to a community organisation, and I feel that the Shire as a whole got a little bit cheated out of that, when the state government should have at least have some sort of pathway where the community could have then tapped into some resources to bring the building up to spec, and then once it was at spec, for then the Shire to maybe maintain it. I think there's been a little bit of shortchanging there with the Shire of Northern and also the people of Spencer's Brook. So I think that while it's something for this budget of money that we're debating right now, I think that in the future, looking at budget measures and a strategy to assist the community with the Station Master's house would be something that would be beneficial in the future for the community, and then we'll probably provide the Shire some sort of guidance. So I would invite councillors to support the motion as it currently stands, and we'll have another argument with the members of the community in support of that discussion and that debate at a later time. Thank you.
So with that, I'll put councillor Ryan's motion. So all those in favour of the motion as presented by a show of hands. So that's 3. All those against. That is lost. So then,
I'd like to apologise to everyone. I had a few problems with my computer. The information was there, so that was absolutely my mistake. I apologise. The information was sent out. I hate this thing. It doesn't work.
so what we have to do is we actually have to come. Oh, so those 4. Those against. Oh, everyone else.
It's 5-3.
It's 5-3. So what we have to do, we still need to have a motion. So we need to come up with something else now.
Yes.
So with this, the motion that Councillor Girak put up there.
Wasn't to replace
That wasn't to replace
And
it.
now that that was lost, we do need to have a motion to address what is actually being discussed. So what is the decision that's being made tonight with reference to this motion?
Yeah. So we need
Foreshadow.
no, we just need something with what we support, what we don't support.
Well,
So
I think we
that's-
support everything apart from one.
One and two.
So we need someone to move what we like.
One.
Remove one and two.
1 and 2.
One and 2.
2, yeah.
That they was very.
Sorry, can we just?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just make a point of clarification. So the motion, councillor Garrett, that you've got here, because we can't deal with 1 and 2 until that has to be dealt with. Because of our previous motion, that has to be dealt with at a later time.
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting is we would separate 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Because 1 and 2 as it stands, we can't support.
Yeah.
As it is. I'm not sure what the council thoughts about 3, 4 and 5. So I'd have to separate them. I have to separate the 2.
Yes, that's what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
What would you want 1 and 2 to be? If we cannot support it, so what would be the recommendation when we
Or
separate?
right.
Which is already what the next one.
What is here, sorry.
Yeah, so we can just remove it? Or we need to, we can,
Yes, so
so yes, if we split it and vote against 3, 4 and 5, and that will pass, and then we put 1 and 2 in a separate motion, and that will be lost,
yeah, so
then we can deal with the.
as so we can separate 1 and 2. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. So councillors, what we're planning to do is to separate 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So we're just going to give the staff just a minute to word that correctly, so we can deal with them separately. So with councillor Gierak's motion, so we'll move 1 and 2 separately. So assuming council wants to not vote for that, then deal with the other stuff and deal with 3, 4 and 5 separately. So we'll just give staff a minute. So we'll just recess. I would have a 5-minute recess. So yeah. What's the appropriate wording for that? Adjournment. So just to give the staff time, can we sort of proceed with the motion? Can I just have someone move that we, councillor Ryan, councillor Mangeli is seconding. So that's procedure, so I put that for, say, is a 5-minute adjournment on it? So 5-minute adjournment? That's the simple, so I'll put that to vote. All those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, so we just had that adjournment, we weren't discussing anything, we're just making sure we get the process correct. Now, we're probably going to refer to the screen. I just want to see if there's any clarifications just about the process in between times. Councillor Gary, you didn't have a question?
Yes, sorry, Mr. President, I do have a question. I don't know if it's still on page 291, about the recommendation. In the officer's comment, it's referring, the level. In the officer's comment, it's referring to policy community grants program, but the recommendation is actually funding request. So is it grants or funding?
Thank you. So it's it didn't go through the committee process. It went through our community services team, assessed independently as a funding.
So they were official grants application?
No.
Grant funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we're going to refer to the board to follow the correct process. So yes, we need to split this up. So this is where we're at, so we need to split this up. So we have a motion on the board there. The council removed the following funding requests from the recommendation. So what we can do, we're going to deal with these separately.
Yep.
So, because we didn't make a decision before. So I see if the councillor wants to move that. Councillor Garrett's going to move, Councillor Mencheli's going to second. That's the one on the board. Is there going to be any debate on this item? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. So we've removed that. Then we're going to move to the next one. So we still need to deal with this separately. Councillor Garrett had already put that motion that we're going to deal with after this one, but then we've got this, the council not support the other three, as per, so this is where we're at.
I'm happy to move the motion.
Councillor Ryan's going to move. Councillor Mencheli's going to second. Is there anyone likely to speak against this? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. Then we're going to the next one. So this is one that Councillor Garrett provided to us before. So this is a request to CEO to prepare a report for the June 24 Ordinary Council meeting outlining the legal, financial and any other consequences posed by potentially revoking or changing his previous council decision, C3452, in relation to items 1 and 2 from the Office of Recommendation. Councillor Garrett is going to move that. Councillor Bolton's going to second that. Is there anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. So we've dealt with all those. Thank you, officers, for coming up with the answers to that. Members of the public, I forgot to tell you before, you're quite able to go, once your item's been dealt with, you're quite able to go without reference to me, any reference at all. So we have 2 items to bring forward. So we're going to go to page 261. So differential rate, Chamber of Commerce. Just going to make sure I get all the declarations of interest. So we also had President Antonio declared impartiality, Councillor Polton, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Ryan, Councillor Garrett, Councillor Mencheli, Councillor Williams all declared impartiality in this item. So we also have a recommendation of this on page 264. Councillor Ryan is moving, Councillor Mencheli is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? All those in favour by show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. So again, members of the public, you're quite able to go and stay and enjoy hospitality or go with that reference. So then we're back on page 16. Just let me get to the bottom of that page. So we go to item number 12 is reports of committee meetings. So 12.1 is Ordinary Use Management Committee held on the 22nd of April 2024. First, we have the receipt of the minutes. I will ask for a mover in a second for this. Councillor Mencheli is going to move. Councillor Gierak is going to second. So anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. And then we have the adoption of the recommendations. Councillor Mencheli is moving. Councillor Bolton is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 18. So item 13 is officer reports. 13.1.1 is the leases for community halls. Just a reminder that councillors Bolton, President Antonio, Councillor Bigland, Councillor Gierak, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Mencheli and Councillor Williams declared impartiality in this item. So we have 13.1.1 and then we also have page 24. We go to recommendation by recommendations. This is regard to Bakers Hill. First recommendation. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Hughes is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 8-0, that's carried. Then we've got the second recommendation, which is for Clackline. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Gierak is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 8-0, that's carried. Then we go to page 25. We have the recommendation for Southern Brook.
Just going too fast.
Sorry, you got okay with those?
No, what done was just it loads between.
Oh, sorry. We've delayed enough time now. Now on page 25, we've got Southern Brook. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Hughes is seconding. So all those in favour by a show of hands, assuming there's no motion against, which is not, that's 8-0, that's carried. And I'll just talk slowly just for a second. Then we have the recommendation also on page 25 for One Dowry. Councillor Gierak is moving, Councillor Ryan is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands, that's 8-0, that's carried. So then we go to page 35. Oops. I'm not sure we've got that right page. To the right on page 30. Apologise, page 30. So that's 13.1.2, One Dowry Tennis Court and Club Room Lease. Recommendations on page 35. I did have one query, if I can indulge upon you, Acting CEO. Just wanted to clarify the court and courts. Just the situation with that.
So I think that's probably just a typo. It is two courts contained within one perimeter fence. So further to that, we had a question on notice last week, so we responded today. So condition report is getting produced as we speak. So an inspection was undertaken.
Councillor Williams, do you have a question?
Yes. Apologies, I wasn't here at that part of the meeting last week. Trying to ascertain whether the tennis courts are actually going to be hired out, which will provide income to the Progress Association for them to allow them to manage the facility properly, or whether they're actually for free use, and in which case what benefit the Progress Association to get that of taking over the lease of the tennis court.
If the intention of the One Dowry Progress Association is to hire a tennis court, we may have to look at including that fee in the fees and charges, just being we're having the same issue with the community hall, that being that it is managed on behalf of the Shire, the high fees may need to be included in fees and charges as well. So that can be a consideration when we go into negotiations with the Progress Association on what those fees are going to look like, if that's what they're going to do.
Hopefully that's answered your question, councillor Williams.
Not exactly. So, but that doesn't need to be included now. Just there's nothing actually in the body of the report that says anything about whether the intention is for the tennis courts to be hired out or to be provided free. I'm just wondering if something should be in the recommendation now, before we make the decision as to whether give the way it's reading at the moment, to me, it looks like it could be a burden on the Progress Association, financial burden, to take over leasing tennis courts that they're not going to get any income from. It just doesn't mention anything about that. I'm just slightly concerned about that.
We can include an amendment to the motion just to state that the fees and charges may be addressed with the Progress Association, and if they are wanting to hire out the court, that the fees and charges be included within the
Yeah, you can.
That's I'm happy to move the motion with that amendment.
So what I'll do is I'll just get the wording right before we proceed, councillor Williams, is that all right? Yes. Yes, yeah.
Have to second that.
Yeah. So I'll just get the wording right, so councillor Williams, councillor Ryan, just get the wording right before we actually proceed. It's great to say yes to that. That's very good. The board members. And just while we're waiting, councillors, I think I neglected to read out the declarations of interest in this item, so I'll just go back to that. So that's given us a bit of time. So does President Antonio declare impartiality in this item? Councillor Poulter declared impartiality in this item. Councillor Bignell declared impartiality in this item, and I'll just go back to page 30. Councillor Gearak declared impartiality in this item. Councillor Hughes declared impartiality in this item. Councillor McKinley declared impartiality in this item. And Councillor Williams declared impartiality in this item. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, did they first? Yeah. So you're just checking to see if I read it out, so well done. So with the motion that we have in front of us, so we've got the item 1 is that this recommendation is to approve. So there's A and B in our agendas. So the C, which Councillor Williams has maybe just want to make sure the word is right. The further consideration to be made in negotiation with that'll be the Wundarra Progress Association as to hiring arrangements of tennis courts and related establishments of fees. Fees are included in the council fees and charges. To the include. I'll make sure Councillor Williams is happy with that.
Just make a slight change at the top as well, but it's to a condition point one of the recommendation.
Oh, yeah, the top half. Oh, yeah, except problem. Yeah. So everyone's clear, so Councillor Williams is moving the recommendation as we've got written report with the added bit of that C, which is in there.
So it's 2 points, 2C. Yeah, okay. 2C.
Point 2C, the lease arrangement is subject to. So it still forms part of the lease.
Yes.
Yes. As long as Councillor Williams is happy with that. So Councillor Ryan?
Yes.
As seconder. So is there anyone likely to speak against Councillor Williams' motion? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. Thank you, councillors, thank you, staff.
I mean, there will be another one, just agree on that, you know, this is down to include that addition.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Councillor Williams will move that as a substantive. Councillor Ryan will second that as a substantive. So is there anyone likely to speak against that? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried.
I don't need a reason.
Reason for the substantive.
Yeah, reason for the change to the officer's recommendation.
Oh, there's,
Make sure there's no burden on it.
Well, it's probably more to provide clarity around the potential use of the tennis club, the tennis courts and, and the others associated with the, what's the.
clarity, but it's means that's going to say clarity, that's good. That's good. Is that okay for me? What I'm saying to you, Cool. Okay, so thank you everyone. We're going to go to page 37. I'll get the page 37. So item 13.1.3, Shire of Northern Bushfire Brigade Local Law 2024. We only have one declaration of interest in this item for the first time tonight. Councillor Gurek has declared partiality in this item. 13.1.3, and we go to page 41 to start off with. There's a recommendation on page 41. Councillor Ryan is moving, Councillor Mancelli is seconding. So is there anyone likely to speak against that? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 8-0, that's carried. And then we've got the recommendation on page 42. It's for the CEO to do changes. Councillor Mancelli. Oh, sorry. So, okay, Councillor Hughes moved that, sorry. Councillor Mancelli seconded that. Councillor Hughes and Councillor Mancelli. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 50. So 13.1.4, Walga request for reduced licence fee, office space Northern Visitor Centre 2 Grey Street Northern, and there's a recommendation on page 52. Councillor Hughes is moving, Councillor Williams is seconding. Is there anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 54. So item 13.2 is engineering services. 13.2.1 is Northern CBD streetscape strategy. There's a recommendation on page 56.
Ryan has a
question.
Thank you very much for answering the question that I raised in regards to coverage. So thank you. That's lots of clarity.
Thank you. So there's a recommendation on page 56. Councillor Mancelli is moving. Councillor Gierat is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. Then we go to page 84. So 13.3 is development services, 13.3.1, proposed telecommunications facility. There's a recommendation on page 87, and there was some questions and answers provided this week. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Minicelli is seconding. So anyone likely to speak against? Councillor Hopkins. So I'll just go, Councillor Ryan move it.
Yes.
Let you go first, Councillor Ryan.
Thank you. So the recommendation as it currently stands is for this tower to be built. Now the site and where it's to be erected into the information provided by staff is in close proximity to where the large display sign is at Albertville Bank. There's already a large structure there, so I'm not sure all the structure is going to take too much away from it. Telecommunications is obviously very, very important, particularly for that area. You've got the climate village that's now getting some traction, which is really good. There's lots of residents moving in there, and secure telecommunications, particularly in that area with bushfires at the moment, so it's very, very important. This tower, is my understanding, will provide at least some security when it comes to strong signal strength for mobile phones and data. I don't think that there's not a lot of residential properties around there, apart from the road and road users would be exposed if people are concerned about radiation or 5G types of radiations or signals or whichever. It's not going to be in a built-up area where there's lots of residents around where those sorts of concerns might arise, I would suggest. And so it's my belief that the motion is appropriate. I would invite councillors to consider the motion and to support.
Thank you, Councillor Bolton.
So I completely agree that telecommunications is important. My concern is the 40 metre communication meters that is in an area that's also surrounded by wetland, seasonal flooding. I'm seeing issues with that area, and that road needs some improvement and should be extended to 4 lanes. I think that hindsight is 2020, and that pushing it so close to this road is going to potentially force any improvements to this section difficult for preventing. There's roads on the side of this entering grace and turning lanes, and there's nowhere for telecommunications meters for the road. I think that we're shooting ourselves in the foot when it comes to future improvements. But the 40 metres long.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Minicelli.
Yeah, I've heard Councillor Ryan speak on this particular matter. We asked some questions about this last week, and I had some concerns about the height of the monopole being 20 metres from the road, and seriously, there's really nowhere else you can put it on that parcel of land. And I think the answer we got was that the monopole needed to be placed fairly close to the power source that feeds the sign, and the other issue is there's very poor reception once you go over Coates Road on your way to Perth, or almost El Cabello. And look, this particular monopole or telecommunications pole will provide a service that we've been lacking for quite some time along that stretch of road. As a regular user of that road, I've lost a lot of phone calls, some for the better, some for the worst, I guess. I just urge all councillors to support the location of the monopole.
Further speakers against? Question. I'll go Councillor Giroud first. Question?
Thank you, Mr. President. There's not in the recommendation anywhere that they have to ask Main Roads approval for putting up that tile, so I assume they won't need it. If Main Roads decide to widen the road or, need additional space, could they request the landowner to move the tile, like they requested them to move the sign?
Do you know the answer? Do you know the answer?
So historically, LED sign was actually moved a few years ago to accommodate future road widening, so that area has actually been road widened. Main Roads have been consulted as part of the assessment process, and they have no objection to it, subject to their approving the new well that will access.
Councillor Hughes, question? So further speakers against, that's where we're at. Further speakers for? Councillor Ryan, you have right of reply.
I think that in terms of, sorry, thank you, Mr. President. So with regards to whether it's 20 metres or 40 metres, obviously if it's 40 metres, it's that little bit, the cost that will be a little bit longer, will require further structure to be put in place, and it's far easier to build a smaller or a shorter crossover than a longer one. With regards to the road being widened and the Shire being locked into a position where seeing ourselves have to fail in regards to the road widening, or whether it needs to be draw lanes, whichever. As the precedent's already been set in regards to the advertising sign, the sign was moved. So when Main Roads wanted to widen it, they basically told the proponents that, mate, you're going to have to move your sign because we need it. That road, section of the road, is actually managed by Main Roads. So in terms of the risk to the Shire of Northam, I would suggest that it's a lot lower than if it was a road that was controlled by us, that was required by us to maintain. So I think that any movement of that pole in the future won't be a burden upon touch, and it would be a matter for Main Roads. If Main Roads are giving it the ticket of approval, then I would suggest that council will be in fairly safe territory to approve the motion as currently is read. And I would strongly encourage council to support the motion.
Thanks, Councillor Ryan. So with that, I'll put Councillor Ryan's motion. All those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. So we now go to page 107. 13.4 is corporate services. 13.4.1 accounts and statement of accounts. April 2024. There's a recommendation on page 109. Councillor Shelley is moving. Councillor Hughes is seconding. So anyone likely to speak against? All those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 165. So this is 13.4.2, financial report for the period ending 30 April 2024. I will see if there is any questions on this, as this is a new item that wasn't here last week. So any questions on this one, councillors? I have to ask one, because we've got two new staff members here. So just wanted to clarify, I think it's just a typo. On page 180, there's a Bankwest interest rate in our investments. I believe that interest rate's out of date. I just want that corrected. So I'll just go to page 180, page 180. See it in our investment register, we've got the AROC Bankwest Trust account at 1.25.
So, where it says ending,
Just,
ending 18/04/24? Is that what you mean?
13/4/2024, yes?
Yeah.
I believe it's been rolled at a higher interest rate.
Yes. It's actually been rolled over but at the same interest rate because we go for 1 month. So the higher interest rates are when we go above 3 months.
We're getting 1.25.
And this is AROC funding, like we manage AROC funds, we are their treasury. So it's their day-to-day cash flow, so we can't invest for long of them. We only do 1 month.
Thank you for correcting me. But any other questions on this item, councillors? If not, we go back to page 167. There's a recommendation on there. Councillor Ryan is moving, Councillor Bureau is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? For all those in favour by a show of hands? 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 181. So item 13.4.3, adoption of 2024-2025 schedules of fees and charges. President Antonio, just a reminder, and Councillor Williams declared impartiality in this item. I believe that was all the ones we had. So we've got 13.4.3, adoption of 2024-25 schedules of fees and charges, and the recommendation is on page 186.
just a question, Mr. President.
Yep, Councillor
So,
Ryan.
in regards to the tennis court and the motion that we moved earlier, in regards to fees and charges in regards to tennis court, will that be included at a later time with that will come back before council for that? That will be approved.
Put that the June ICM once we've done the negotiation.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Councillor Ryan.
I'll take it.
Councillor Ryan. Sorry. Councillor Ryan's leaving. Councillor Menchel is seconding. So anyone likely to speak against that? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 210. So item 13.4.4, revised long-term financial plan. So page 210, and there's a recommendation on page 213. This is endorsing the long-term financial plan. Councillor Polkin is moving. Councillor Ryan is seconding. So anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We now go to page 249. So 13.4.5, customer service charter review. There's a recommendation on page 251.
I'm happy to move that.
Councillor Ryan is moving that. Councillor Bureau is seconding that. So anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands? That's 8-0, that's carried. We've done 13.4.6 and we've done 13.5.1. So we're now going to go to page 293. Double check if I haven't missed anything. Double checking. So we're on page 293. We've got matters behind closed doors. Councillor Ryan's going to move. Councillor Michelle is going to second. So this is procedural, so I'll put that straight to the vote. So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 8-0, that's carried. That's 7-0. Once the recording goes back, I'll just read these again. So recording back. So I just wanted, just for the recording, just that matters behind closed doors, 14.1. Councillor Gerac declared proximity. Councillor Gerac's resident across the road from the back of the item considered in the agenda. And Councillor Wright declared impartiality as a member of the group that is next door to one of the items discussed at the moment. Okay, so members of the public. So, discuss matters behind closed doors to members of the public. So, council has endorsed further investigation into option 5 as presented, the Leicester Hall for the relocation of the council chambers, and authorises the CEO to investigate designs, obtain quotes and timelines for this project to present for future consideration. If the members of the public are aware of that. So we've and just for Councillor Gerac as well, we said that, but Councillor Gerac, we also read out declarations of interest for the camera. We've read it during behind closed doors and then for the camera. So item number 15, motions which previous notice has been given, is nil. Item 16 is urgent business approved by decision. Item number 17, declaration of closure is made at 7:13 p.m. I'd like to thank all councillors for your questions and debate. It's very good. Thank all the members of staff coming up with all the answers to our queries and all the recommendations, and members of the